Beautiful people of YouTube, my name is Oliverkatt, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about FEZ, but more specifically, we're going to be talking about the Glyph alphabet on FEZ and how to decode it. But wait, I can already hear you saying, but Oliver, wasn't it already decoded? Yes, in fact, yes it was. And I'm pretty sure the majority of all the codes in the game were cracked within the first few days of the game's release. But that's not the point. This video, or guide's goal, is to show you how to crack the code without just giving you the answer. And yeah, at the end of the video I'll just give you the answer. That's if to say you didn't already see my second Let's Play where I just gave you the answer. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin. Keep in mind that this video will contain spoilers, but I won't spoil the code until the very end. Now, the history of codes goes back very, very far. First saw its few plays when generals would send secret messages over the battlefield, and, just to keep it hidden from each other. And even more recently, where games developers would put them in their game to make it just a little bit more interesting. Nowadays, anybody has access to codes and how to decipher pretty much any kind of code out there in existence. But the most rewarding part of being able to work with codes is being able to crack them yourself. Which is why we're here, and I figured I'd show it to you, just in case you guys were interested in figuring it out yourself. So here we go. So, during your first 7 minutes of playing FEZ, you encounter the hexahedron, who is the driving force in the game, and actually gives you your powers to see into the third dimension. But before any of that happens, it speaks to you in a strange and mysterious language. Now, for the first step, I took everything that the hexahedron said and wrote it down on paper. Now, assuming that everything was written in English, which is what I did, I knew that the series of glyphs wouldn't make words from top to bottom. So the orientation in which the glyphs were in, I knew had to be moved around. Now, it took me a little while, but I basically ended it off at this. After rotating it for a little bit, I kind of decided in which position does the text look like a block of text that you would encounter like on a newspaper or a magazine or a book. To me, the answer is simple because I do have some kind of background in this. I simply just took the text and flipped it on its left side. Now from there, I was able to see patterns in the writing. Now by patterns I mean repeating phrases or words, which is where my next phase steps in. The simplest way to decode anything is attacking the smaller words first. Anything 4 letters or 4 characters and down. So I ended up extracting all the smaller words and putting them into a list. Then I focused on the smaller words that came up multiple times. Now if you guys don't know, we use, at least in the English language, we use our vowels the most. So A, E, I, O, U. I automatically knew that these letters would be overused. So I pinpointed the words that I thought would be mostly common using those letters. Now, just after doing that and looking back at the answers that I already have, I was already right. Not to say that this is the only way of decoding a message. There's a million and one ways of decoding a message. This is just the way I chose. It didn't take long before I was able to decode my first word, which was actually a 2-letter word, being the word hi. After getting that, I knew I was headed in the right direction, and actually plugging in the rest of my vowels was actually pretty easy. The only ones I had remaining was I and A, E and O. And this is where my next phase comes in. My next problem was to tackle 4-letter words. Now, how I was able to solve the 4-letter words actually wasn't in the blocks of text that the hexahedron had spoken to us with. It was actually, if you guys recall, your first warp portal that you encounter. There's a little obelisk that has 2 4-letter words around it. And the one that I took notice to was 4 little words that had 2 of the same letters in the center. And I will show you a picture here. And I knew that there isn't that many words in the English language that had that kind of setup, if you will. So I know it had to be like an E, an O, or an A. And I guessed that the word would be look, but it's actually not look, it was room. Anyways, I was still close, it was a double O. Eventually, I was able to guess words just off of the missing letters that remained. And off of those missing letters, I was able to fill in letters that already weren't decoded, and I was able to get a full sentence. And the first block of text that the hexahedron says is, "Hi there, how are you? I'm going to be your hexahedron today. This is just a routine procedure, but I do need someone here just in case something goes wrong. And if something does go wrong, you're going to have to clean up the mess." So, yeah, that's basically everything you need to crack the alphabet code without actually cheating. Now, for the people who feel otherwise, there's going to be a link in the description, because I know you can't fucking just try and do it yourself and just try and play the game and enjoy the experience for yourself. Anyways, that's not my problem. The link will be in the description. It's a link to Imager. Just pop up a page, and you can copy and save the image straight to your desktop or whatever you want to do. And also, instructions come with how to use the key that I made. I gotta be honest, I'm surprised. I expected this video to be much longer. I kind of feel like I either did it too fast or underdid it. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video here, and if you guys enjoyed it, please drop a like. I'd really appreciate it. Even though this video was relatively short, I spent a lot of time trying to put it together, a lot of editing. And if you are new to my channel and like the content that I am putting out, go ahead and subscribe. It really helps me out, and you get to see more of my stuff. And yeah, so I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My name is Oliverkatt, and I'm signing off. Goodbye.